And just as I was saying, no, there is a statement making kind no at the amount surely now after yetimi at the whole and come directive abba. And then again, the energy sector, the looming crisis they won in office. President John Dramani Mahama and the chief of staff, a committee one more at yes, one more share. Now immediately no they are buying ebetime aye to solving the situation. I don't come more ana yeba ababede. My member lawyer Eduji Tambakulachi na memano akwaba. Wado a director in charge of legal affairs for the NDC. Cancer what you make fish apa. Congratulations is in order.
Mr. Speaker Niana.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, no permit ya wo. Me that was as Daily Kabia, Mekaise, one of the last media engagement was with you.
Exactly.
I remember vividly. I think it was a day before.
A day before, yes. The final day of the campaign.
Exactly. That morning, we know a very good encounter. And I made it abundantly clear to you, Sadano. So from the groundswork, in fact, I've told almost the whole country, and it was clear. Ubia Nason Eda Fumbia said we're going to win. And I'll say this: look, as early as March 2024,
okay,
we knew we'll win the election by 57%.
I see.
In fact, you should watch or check the Facebook post of Dr. Omanebuama. It was clear. It was clear. All the work I in actually, but again, you just have to be cautious and work harder. And for me, as a young man associated with the campaign, my biggest fear was complacency.
Okay.
So immediately, immediately, H.E. John Dramani Mahama having a campaign, Professor Jinana having a campaign, National Chairman having a campaign.
Yeah.
In fact, Mekai National Chairman says, listen, on Thursday, you functional executive committee members of the party to follow GM. It will be anti home, or be on a special influence, or be anti home. And he's confident we'll win the election. Long convoys following the candidate. And Fabio, Yamia Okatasu, not dumb. Am I a victory, Keke? Am I a victory? I mean, like, it puts everything beyond reasonable doubt. With over 1.7 million votes difference, over 180 something MPs. I mean, this is overwhelming, and we appreciate and we thank God. But you see, Mr. Speaker, I can't leave this without thanking you personally. Look, and you're able to do the opportunity, Mama, personally, to use your platform to propagate our message of hope. I want to personally thank you, salute you for that opportunity. Look, I still remember vividly my last media engagement was with you. Yeah.
Also, I'm grateful for acknowledging that. But my Wabaso, in fact, NDC communicators said those, and many are those more functional executive committee. But your humility is very different, and then anytime be a befro be no OJS and say anope yebo abaso yenim say dwumaden a waye no reward ni nyina beba na yetime akoso aye dwuma nso abom. Congratulations, you've done a very good job.
I look, I cannot help but to thank your producer. I think that's Richard, right?
Yes, Richard. Yes.
Ofemia Ondayo. In fact, you're persistent and consistent, and there's no Benjamin Ondai.
I see.
And, I just want to thank you personally for the opportunity. And I say this with humility. Master, you can have whatever ideas that you have, without a platform to propagate it, forget it. And the beautiful thing with more platform is more rich. You do look. Sometimes I'll be there. People in the US will call me.
Okay.
Oh, me is the speaker. Obia over US. Sorry, I'm not paying you.
Exactly.
So the platform was so huge. It gave us the opportunity to reach diverse groups of people, and it makes the work easier. Look, I go on the campaign platform, right? And you go to a community, you speak to them. Then you go to another community, you speak to them. But with the benefit of radio and television, within 2 minutes, nothing in our make I say, make a campaign and Ashanti region. I have for north south east.
Okay.
92.9.
Na misi Ebijama no na esime nko Sabrono. Na udi Sabrono a sebio different tribes. Kusasi for Konkomba for different, and you have to reach out. The benefit of radio makes the work easier. Because then with one set you can reach many people. And so in all, I personally want to thank you for the privilege, the opportunity. And you see, the other thing I remember in our last conversation, you were asking very probing questions. And those probing questions, Emma made the opportunity to explain further the things that we want to do.
I remember clearly the question on Kokon Kitten.
and see how you gave me the opportunity to bring the budget of 2020, the export of
report.
The trade report. And I'm sure even you that day you were shocked that these were the numbers we're dealing with. And you remember I told you that you Google the trade report yourself.
Exactly. And
go to say so and let's have the conversation. How much we were putting, and then go on to think it make I say no
when you about I know I'm a buone back why na me dey see me feature na. Very well.
Thank you.
Very well.
I wish you all in school as well.
Thank you. There's a crowd platform the TV back home aka ho and to say you are on double TV I don't pay I say you're on Kessben and then you're on that TV as well and all country more but my yenin come quick one and Sana Meja Mawako and there was a statement a buyer from the secretary to the president. MMDC's appointment has been terminated, and I think so. We are within some crisis in the energy sector. Quick one, Mamintio on the MMDC disappointment. First, many are saying they wish Senkamube taking more time. Nanka MMDC is I prepare handing over notes I hand over properly. And sign as such a directive, a bit to me. Mamintio, what might have gone into this decision I'm not taking?
Okay, so first of all, we have in Ghana what is called the Transition Act.
Yes.
The Transition Act provides 6 months before the election. Appointees must prepare the handing over note. And so it cannot be said, people needed, as it were, time to prepare their handing over notes. The Transition Act is very clear. In fact, I need to also tell you, I am on the Transition Subcommittee on Local Governance.
Okay.
So the handing over notes on the local governance, the local government services or something, it came to my staff committee.
Okay.
And we went through it. So ours was legal and governance. To handle foreign affairs, attorney general, local government. And so we've gotten the handing over notes. in respect of the things that were happening in the. So it cannot be the question, say, or the case, say, there was the need for time in order to get and the handing over notes were voluminous, 300 pages, 500 pages, and what have you. What I say. So,
yes.
Look, the appointment of the ministers at the MMDCs was coterminous with the appointing authority.
Okay.
And so once it had happened, we just felt that there was a need. You see, remember, say, in 2009, late Professor Mills, Emma, a lot of time.
Yes, so for about 6 months, they were still in office.
So possibly we've learned from the benefit of that history. That is why this time around we have to do that with speed and purpose. And also remember, say, at that time we didn't have the Local Governance Act. It's a new enactment that came in 2016, and the dictates are even more different. And so, Elintina, H. Don Mahama had quickly done this.
Very well, but in that same effect, we are told there is a Supreme Court ruling on chief executives. One more appointment, through the Public Services Commission. The Supreme Court had said, those people, as I say, a more certain tenure of office, and the appointment cannot be terminated immediately. Do you have a fair idea of this particular ruling, and then what will be the decision moving forward?
So, also the title of the case are AHO Clause Donko.
Okay.
Versus Attorney General. You notice the lawyer who did it was me. I was the lawyer in the matter. So I'm pretty familiar with it. First of all, I think we should all see the appointments to positions of this nature. There's a basic fundamental principle of law.
Okay.
Contracts of employment are not contracts of servitude. And so they can always be terminated.
Okay.
Subject to compliance with either a rule of procedure, rule of law, or what have you.
Yes.
There are some positions that you cannot, as it were, touch the person.
I don't know a bit to say there, hey.
Obi to say or shrage balls.
Okay.
You can't. What I say, you can't. Auditor General, you can't. Because the Constitution provides the mode by which you can terminate those appointments.
Okay.
Then you also have appointments that you can only terminate subject to just cause.
Yes.
Particularly appointment flowing from Article 190. You must show just cause. But beyond that, all appointments can actually be terminated subject to fulfillment of conditions, either a notice in lieu of that determination. In the contract, you see, you give the person 3 months notice. In lieu of that notice, you compensate the person. So there are all kinds of. So the case did not say you cannot remove. It only says you can do it subject to certain conditions being fulfilled. And I'm the lawyer on record. I conducted that case.
Very well. In that effect, we are going to see some of this directive coming up, just as we've seen with that of a year MMDCs, right?
Absolutely.
And a quick one on the energy sector. The first year of President Mahama in office, Excellency, there was a committee formed and chaired by the Chief of Staff, Ura Julius Deborah, who were made to understand that by close of day and there ought to be a roadmap. And Komodiano Akwakusi saying Ghana for the Omupeso Motia and saying Kania Nijinaso. What is the way forward in getting fuel for the energy sector?
Once again, the Akobanian, you see, look, I say with humility, my matters way has always been in energy and natural resources related matters. The procurement of fuel, and yeah, sebi, I had to say, with a gallon, to fuel.
Okay.
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of negotiation and what have you. And look, I would say Ghana has energy production in this country. Okay. You will buy essentially three things. Water, and then a hydro, Kosomo, wheat, and a bone.
Yeah.
What is that? In the years, I was the friend of thermal plants. Now, thermal plants, no, either using gas or light or heavy fuel, LCUs, and what have you. The problem is that as for insurance, many will have any control over it.
Okay.
You have a control over a gas and a light crude and a heavy fuel. The thermal plants may be a combined cycle. It is me using gas in you are.
It means to light crude, no? Okay.
Like, and Oshaya, your two principal source of gas in Nigeria and Gabon. But what I say?
Yes.
And gas. But gas, no, will be the pipeline now, a firm. Inti, I think Biano, or yet the FN routine maintenance. Now, the Ecoba and they say, Nanka, it can say, a banya bechamu, Danado Danko Gufado, never be a bang. Nanka say, Omon Peninsula. Maintenance in October.
Okay.
But because of a battle on it, a buying, I can say, almost reverse matter no and called January. For me, that was a very reckless decision. Yes. Look, the decision to reschedule the maintenance from October
to January
2025 was extremely reckless and political. Because that time, not buying SU said it was too close to the election. And that by reason of, because even we crown, they rescheduled it for January 20th to 16th
February.
What it means is that there's going to be a generation shortfall. The other thing to know is monthly light crude purchase is almost $40 million. And yes,
Kessben.
It's not Charles.
Kessben.
And so a Bambia person will be using gas because it's cheaper. Cry. Well, for me, the decision by the government, they reschedule the maintenance from October, November, December to January was extremely reckless. We could have avoided it. But that time, not buying through say, it was going to affect them politically. If they had rescheduled it to now and they had won, the only thing is that they would have done PR with it. Oh, yeah, you're doing CACA. And you know those kind of things that they used to tell us.
Exactly.
It was going to be doing CACA and what have you. The expectation was that at least, like I said, light crude, and yeah, tono with gallon. Serious international transactions. The back forth and all of those things. It was completely avoidable. Now, so we woke up and realized that the amount of light crude I hear was it's not enough to even survive a month. But thankfully, leadership has stepped in under the watch of the chief of staff. Their engagement best to immediately procure this light crude before the 20th of January Waku or pipeline
maintenance, no.
When we say a trouble, so no, said you, yeah, all the gas that we need. That's where the problem is.
Okay.
Yet me and they wouldn't even rely on end gas.
So, Council, the question, no, Ebeye said now, the co-chair for the energy subcommittee for the transition, no, my yes, I mean, in stock, no, there was a say, no, Esra, we send power. And one other fee honoma or more enough. Yes, we do not have enough for the other thermal plant Akano. So in the interim, no, I mean, what's going to happen to us?
One will say Nigerian gas is the principal source of gas for Sunasogli. Sunasogli already is about almost 300. And many other of the enclave in way. One will say many of the power plants
Exactly.
Then you have a lot of them also around the Bone enclave, Tema. That enclave. And you know, I could say, we are closer to Nigeria.
Okay.
So, so you can imagine the impact that will be on the southern plants. Huge. But like I pointed out, leadership has stepped in to do everything under their power, as it were.
So for now, no, the assurance will be abayin gusua woye ho adwuma, but enkania no so betumi agina so kakra, right? So that
no. So that's what we want to do. Okay. They will never go under the watch of John Mahama. You see, like I've always maintained.
Kessben.
We should never get to this point again in our life. Minia, let me tell you this. The economy thrives on energy. There's no but or if or maybe. The economy thrives. Look, hairdresser and Onya light. Coastal operator Onya light. Medical doctor Onya light to do an operation. You can hear electricity to operate your console and all of those things. So light is everything, like I always say. You see, sebi, and you know how to manage it. Never should we ever manage our power issues with propaganda and PR.
Okay.
Look, as we speak, the debt owed to independent power producers already is humongous. Meanwhile, we shouldn't have at all. If only we were focused, if only we didn't misapply the ESLA proceeds. The decision to misapply the proceeds from ESLA is the reason why we are where we are. It was completely avoidable. I strongly believe when H. John Dramani Mahama says, Obabere said to the economy, it will be one founded on candor, no credit.
Okay.
Kessben.
You see, Mr. Speaker.
Council.
You see, I want to believe you have a house. You have a family. You run a house. Debut. If every day we are omofra, one egg or 2 pieces of egg. Debut. So whether the base on which our ultimate and your win in our mom, say for regular income, or you are from extra work you need to keep them. So that Uncle say, both for X mom, but a borrowed funds and our auditor X mom. Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Is it sustainable?
That be.
Is it sustainable? Say, they be a dano, go back or borrow from your friends to come and buy eggs, fried eggs for your children. And it's sustainable. And so there comes a time that you need to be brutally honest with your kids. Brutally honest with your kids. And then you can feed with that. But I have no doubt at all that things will be done well. for the sake of tomorrow. For the sake of tomorrow. At least we shouldn't get to the point where we'll be so reckless with our energy.
Kessben.
A headache for all of us. Mr. Speaker.
Council, I'm highly grateful for your time. Your trial appointment, and so the other side will be
That's it.
All right, thank you. And the lawyer Edwiji Tamakulu, director in charge of legal affairs, and then member of the subcommittee on governance and then foreign affairs as well as local government, speaking to us on the